welcome to a video. Today we're going to be talking about nets. What kind of nets that you're going to be needing for a certain type of fishing, what nets are the best for the environment, and what nets are just good all around. Great price, good for the fish, and normal nets that you're going to be using. So let's get into it right now. Alright, so I have two kinds of nets that we're going to be showcasing off today. We have the traditional mesh, like basically your traditional net, and then we also have the more modern style of nets. This is a rubber-coated fly fishing net, if you will. When I think about the mesh net, I think of you're just getting into fishing, you don't really know what the purpose of this is for. You just want a net that will last you a good bit and will keep you from losing fish in the case of you breaking off. You just scoop the fish up if it's still there, and you'll land your fish. Cons about this net: your lures get stuck a lot. Now I know some people that watch my videos, if you're fishing treble hooks, they get stuck in this net a lot. So when you're landing a fish, you obviously scoop it into the net, and its normal tendency is to thrash around with this in its mouth. This is very bad if you're gonna reach in, it's gonna thrash around. And the same thing with this net too, but it's a lot more dangerous when you have this. It'll get stuck. I hope this never happens to anybody, but if you do get a hook in your hand, it's gonna be very hard for the hook to get out of the net since it's a mesh net and all the fibers are gonna get entangled into the treble hooks. Couple pros on the mesh net. The mesh net is very cheap, reliable, and affordable for all types of beginner anglers. And the mesh net is just, if you're just getting into fishing, this is going to be the net for you. Now let's move on to the rubber net. Rubber net, very suited for fly fishing and really all types of fishing in that matter. You don't have to get a net like this. You can get a lot bigger nets, and you can also get them custom made. I think a lot of custom made nets retail for about $150 to $200, depending on the style of net and the grain of the wood that you're going to be using for the net shape. A couple pros about this: it's got a rubber lining, so when you take, for instance, a treble hook bait like this, it will hook onto here, fish will thrash around, you can unhook it, and it'll just come off just like so. Again, on the other net, it'll thrash around and it'll get stuck in the fibers. Another pro with this net, I just dropped the wood. Another pro with this net is that it's very heavy, but it'll keep the fish, if you guys are catch and release anglers, it'll keep the fish, its slime coating. This will help protect it. It'll absorb the slime coating. The fish has less chance of surviving because of this net right here. Whereas when you use the rubber net, it'll keep the slime coating and it will protect the fish, and it'll have a higher chance of living, whereas opposed to using the mesh net. Let's start with cons. Cons of this net: they are pretty expensive and pricey compared to the mesh nets. I think this one retails for around $25, and I got the other net that we're comparing for around $5, depending on which store you're gonna get. Another con about this net: if you do, it's not the best of nets, but if you do break one of these strands over here, it's kind of hard to get it back on because the gauge of the rubber is so thick that you can't actually use certain type of string, or let's say sewing string. You can't put it onto the net, tie it back up, and it'll be okay. You actually have to get the certain type of string that they use, which I'm not sure what kind of string this is, but you have to get a certain type and weave it back together through all the nets if it does break on just one of it, because they're all into one single net, or at least this one I have, but they're all woven into the little strands that are on the piece of wood. So if one breaks, it's kind of hard to get it back. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. If you guys have these nets right here, leave a comment down below. Give me your honest opinion on them. I'd love to hear from you guys. I'll drop a link for this net below, and I'll also drop a link for this net below. I'll try and find them, but if I don't, I will tell you guys in the description below. Other than that, thank you for watching, and let's roll that outro. Thank you guys for watching that video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and also subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, cast on.